Hello. With me today is CEO and founder of Ordering Co. and Ordering Plus and Finitless, Sergio Khoury. Nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for taking the time to join us. It's a pleasure having you here. So Sergio, I've got a short question just to start off. What's a fun fact about you? Perhaps something that others may not know about you?
It all started as a side business. So I didn't know that I was going to be an entrepreneur, at least not with these companies. It started like thinking that it would be a nice idea to implement and that it didn't exist back then. So I wanted to kind of see what happens. And then eventually it became a business.
Cool. Awesome. You currently lead so Ordering Co, Ordering Plus, Finitless. Tell us about these ventures. What are they?
Yes, of course. So Ordering.co, it's the technology that helps marketplaces for online ordering and delivery. It helps also everything with the last mile logistics. You can imagine like Uber Eats and Just Eat, Deliveroo, or DoorDash, and like these leaders. The technology that they have to run their operations is the technology that we created so that any entrepreneur can start a marketplace. And then it evolved to be the technology also used by franchises and enterprises so that they can have this same technology, but for multi-stores, for running other operations, and not only for online ordering with website and applications, but also eventually it evolved so that we also offer products like kiosks, call center software, and other solutions.
That's pretty cool. How long have you start off? Like how long ago has Ordering Plus and Ordering Co been around?
Ordering.co started in 2012. And as I mentioned, it was a side business. I didn't know it was going to grow this much. And eventually in 2015 or 2016, I thought like, okay, this is bringing more money than my main business. So let's just switch. And the way I invest my time. So I started working full time in ordering. And then, we have been evolving as a company. We've got some really big brands using our platform. Some of them like Domino's Pizza, Starbucks, Pizza Hut, KFC, Cold Stone, and many, many others. So right now with everything going on with AI, we thought like, okay, we need to evolve because otherwise we will not have any business in a few years. In 2 or 3 years, we would be outdated. So that's why we created Finitless. And Finitless, a company that we are trying to solve with AI agents that get things done, not only to chat with them, or not only to support your thoughts, but to actually start a process and finish it so that there's no human intervention.
Pretty cool. Yeah, your approach, you're evolving with the times, and we'll touch a little bit more about AI's role in a bit. But maybe just take us a step back to your journey as well. With regards to going on with these ventures, and it's interesting to see how you evolved over time. And was this a birth from this side gig? Was it a birth from something that you thought maybe there was an opportunity there? Or have you, and another thing too I'm curious about is, have you always been an entrepreneur, like thing that got you over the edge and said, yeah, maybe this is something I should do full time?
It started with very small gigs. I used to sell labels for Christmas and for books and things like that, like not not something that would become eventually like a big business. Then I sold websites. That was a good business when I was 15 years old. Then eventually when I got into university, I wanted to do something else. And I will go back to that story for a little bit. So I was not like the best student. And I knew that if I wanted to choose the path of not being an entrepreneur, I needed to be like really, really good. A lot of other students that were top notch, like A plus all the time. And I thought like, okay, if I want to compete with them, it will be very hard to do it like in the regular path where you become a professional that gets hired and so on. So I thought like, okay, I need to then choose my strengths in a better way. And even if I'm not the biggest entrepreneur on earth, I will be somewhere higher than like a top professional.
Pretty cool. And obviously you're targeting the same, starting off with the same audience that you started with Ordering, Ordering Co and Ordering Plus on Finitless as well. Is that correct?
Yes, for now, but the vision is so much bigger. So, and I can explain why. So it's a low hanging fruit. We already have a lot of customers that like our technology. We are already connected into their point of sale systems. So by launching Finitless is just adding an additional channel to their already existing infrastructure. So it's kind of the low hanging fruit to grow fast at the first stage, but then I think there are great things that will be accomplished with Finitless.
Cool. Awesome. So Sergio, you touched on this earlier on about some disruptors in the industry, and one of those is AI. What role or what factor do you think AI plays in just like what trends are you actually seeing that is being propagated or kind of promoted by AI?
And everything, it's accelerating so fast. Every SaaS company eventually will become an AI company or will be disrupted. It's already showing signs of that happening. Somehow, SaaS companies have already done a lot of the boring work, which is not a commodity. Having a platform like Slack, for example, having a platform like Asana or ordering for ourselves. Then adding AI, that's like something that will potentialize and will help these platforms to become the next wave of kind of SaaS companies. But instead of being just SaaS, they will sell results, because I'm not selling SaaS anymore with Finitless. I'm selling solutions to existing problems, labor or not answering phone calls. And then that way I can also sell for the results, because it's more expensive to not answer a phone call than to say like, okay, I'm going to charge X for this monthly service. Interesting.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit just to talk a little bit more about you, what it's like, there's different ventures. So tell me, what's your day-to-day like? You know, being a CEO and founder, how you splitting your time? Where are you spending most of your time at?
So I like waking up early, and I focus the first few hours of my day to solve the biggest task that I want to solve. And there's always one big constraint in any business. And as I have also evolved as a CEO, I think that finding that exact constraint to solve is so important, because otherwise you are just running nowhere and trying to solve everything. Then after that, I start with some meetings, sometimes with big projects inside the company that need my input somehow. We have weekly meetings to check our results, our KPIs for each one of the different departments of the company. And the way I split my time between companies is mostly I needed to let go focusing on ordering.co and ordering plus so that I can focus on Finitless. So most of my time is now on Finitless. Ordering.co and ordering plus are running with the teams that we have in place. They are actually growing, which is nice. But with Finitless, I see the future. So I needed to choose like, I cannot be 50-50. I need to be maybe 90 or 95% on Finitless, because I do believe that's the vision, that's the end goal.
Yeah, makes sense. And you said the team's growing. How big is the team in each of these ventures now? How large are your teams?
The team is not that big. It's only 15 people. What I meant is that the companies are growing thanks to the processes that we have. We are getting more customers for ordering.co and for ordering plus with the products that we already created. So we have been creating those products for over 10 years now. So there are literally thousands of features on those products. We keep adding features, but it's not the same as building a new company and new products where you need to really focus on making it the best you can do, but not only the best, but really fast, so that we can become market leaders with this technology.
Makes sense. And it sounds like in one case you're going from 0 to 1, and in another you're going from 1 optimizing with features and whatnot to 100, right? You mentioned earlier about constraints and whatnot. So if you have a big picture of both businesses, right? Even though you've got team that you probably delegate to and whatnot. As a CEO and a founder, if you had that one thing that, or one or two things that you those constraints that you could make disappear, what would they be?
The first one that we are working on right now, it's first customers for Finitless and launching them. We need to do this the right way, because that will prove that the technology actually is creating a lot of value. The value that theoretically it will create, we need to show results. And then after that, I'm going to raise capital so that we can solve the constraint of money, scale the companies very, very fast. All the time we have been bootstrapping. It has been profitable since the beginning. We have never invested more than what we had. And it has generated millions in profit and in revenue. So that's great. But right now, if we want to win the race with AI for these products, we need capital to scale so much faster.
That makes sense. So I think the one part I'm still curious about is you've done this in terms of, like, as you mentioned, one of the things about like getting the right customers for Finitless. You've walked that walk previously with Ordering Co and Ordering Plus. What makes it harder this time? Like, I mean, you've got so much skills, you got the experience in your tool belt, and you got a decade, doing this. So what is it that you've tried that hasn't worked?
It's not harder. I would say it's so much easier now because of all the mistakes we have been doing over the last 10 years. 5 things work, maybe 20 didn't. And we need to continue to do more of those things. And we already know which ones they are. Right now, it's not about experimenting that much. It's about not doing what we learned we shouldn't do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of faster. And one of the main mistakes that I think I did in the past was not raising money. And that's exactly what we are trying to do now. So everything that I would have done differently in the previous companies, I'm doing this time. Like having first product market fit before trying to scale or sell to many customers, like having the processes and learn how to and document how to onboard a customer with this new technology, and then implement that process so that it can scale from Q2 of next year. Trying to raise money, but only after we have shown some product market fit, and we are not in need to grow this company the same way we already done in the past. But if I want really to accomplish enterprise value for the company, an actual valuation of the company that's so much higher than the ones that I have with Ordering.co, OrdingPlus.com, I need to raise money so that we can do it so much faster.
Interesting. Okay. So maybe just one last thing before we move on from that point is, so what are those metrics that you look out for now in terms of like where you want to get to, whether it's with Finitless or with Ordering Plus? What metrics are you using to say, okay, we're actually heading in the right direction?
And there are different metrics. I would say the one that we will track the most, or that we are tracking the most, is monthly recurring revenue. And that has to do a lot also with churn. So if companies are staying with our services, that means that we are going to get somewhere really fast. Because one of the main issues that I had with Ordering.co is that we focused on the wrong market. The wrong market, meaning entrepreneurs and startups trying to start a marketplace. Because most of the times they didn't even launch their business. And it was not even because of the technology. The technology works. It works so much that we found product market fit after with enterprise companies that needed millions of orders per month. So that proves that the technology was working, but the problem was the market. And they didn't even start their business because they didn't have maybe the business model, or they were doing that half of the time. So they didn't focus enough. I don't know. But what we are solving now with Finitless is, okay, we know what's the market that's interested in these solutions. We know that they don't churn as much if they like the technology. And if we prove results to them. And that's what we are doing now.
Got it. Okay. So the churn is a big thing, which is something that you want to make sure there's high retention, right? Cool. So what would you say your vision, say, for the next 6 to 12 months?
For the 6 to the next 12 months, it will be focusing on AI agents for restaurants mostly, multiple different problems that we are going to solve there, because it's not taking orders, the biggest problem. It's also around a lot of other areas in there. And after that, I think there's a lot of opportunity, hotels space, stadiums, like other industries also. So we are creating the tools, not only to solve one use case. We are thinking of the product as a big vision. So if we solve one use case and we do it the right way, then it will be easier to add a second, third, fourth, fifth, and use case. So that's how we are planning about our company now.
Got it. That makes sense. So if you go back to your KPIs that you mentioned earlier, what would that look like in 6 months, specifically from the lens of, let's say, the monthly recurring revenue one? What would that look like in 6 months in terms of like, okay, this is where we're going to get to?
I estimate for how much monthly recurring revenue we will have.
Yeah, or maybe an increase in it, right? So what percent increase or whatever it is, in terms of where you want to get to, because the way you're thinking about it is, which makes sense, is as a founder, you're like, okay, this is where we want to get to, from a quantitative perspective. What does that look like?
So I think that in the next 12 months, by the end of 2026, we can reach between 3 and 5 million in ARR, at least projected. So monthly recurring revenue would be maybe around 400,000, maybe between 300,000 and 500,000. Of course, these are estimates. I could be wrong for good. So it could be so much higher if things go right. It could take more time also.
These are targets, these are aims, right? And that's just for Finitless as well, right? Is that, are you thinking of the umbrella? Okay, cool. So just to wrap things up, you've been able to start, a really successful business. You started another one, right? What advice would you give for folks who are still very early on, early fintech founders?
To get started and just keep moving, because otherwise you don't know what to solve next if you don't keep moving. And it's impossible to solve everything up front. It's impossible to have a map. It doesn't work like that. And you will be wrong many, many times, but if you keep moving, you eventually will find the solution. It may take years, and that's okay. Because most of the entrepreneurs I meet now, they want to create something really, really big in 1 year. But if you think that you want to create something really big in 1 year, you may have luck. Yes, you may be very, very smart, very capable, have the right connections, and do it like that. But 90% plus of entrepreneurs, it will take more time, and that's okay, because you will eventually get there. But if you keep changing your mind every month or two, then it's going to take 3 or 5 years for you to realize that you shouldn't be changing your mind so often. And then you are going to be 5 years behind of sticking to one thing, doing it for 1 or 2 or 3 years, and then seeing the results that you're looking for.
Awesome. Really great advice. And Sergio, thanks for all the insights you've shared today. It's really great having you on the show. This is really good, and I'm wishing you all the best.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.